Welcome, everybody. We are live. It's time to start the show. I have a special guest on here today. Want to welcome Jonathan Schwartz from GLIF. John, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hey everyone, thanks Rob for having me on. I'm hyped to be here. For those who haven't heard of me or of GLIF, my name is John or Jonathan. I've been working in crypto for probably 8 years now. That's why I'm usually wearing a hat. I've lost a lot of my hair, and yeah, I'm an engineer and I do a little bit of investing as well. But GLIF is basically Filecoin's first and largest DeFi protocol. It's kind of like Lido in the sense that it allows Filecoin token holders to deposit their Filecoin and earn sustainable rewards by lending it to Filecoin miners, who are also called storage providers, and they use that Filecoin to actually store data on the network and grow their business. So the protocol has been out for a couple years, and we're just getting ready to launch our token now. So exciting times, and we're trying to kind of broaden the audience that we're talking to, and that's the context of us hanging out and having a fun space a few nights ago.
I love that. Yeah, we had a great space. And just really quickly, guys, we are going to get into some news. Of course, a lot of stuff going on in the crypto market after the interview. You know how I like to bring on builders all across the crypto space to understand what new technologies are being developed because they might interest you. And I love doing this because there's so many incredible, smart people in the crypto space building. And John definitely is one of them. We had a great space. What was that, Wednesday night? That was a lot of fun, man. I learned a lot from you.
Likewise. Yeah, that was a good chat.
Awesome. So guys, we have about 150 people so far. If you can like the space, if you are on YouTube, like the space. If you are on Twitter, go ahead and share out the space. I'd really appreciate it. Definitely want to get more people in here involved in this. But let's start here, John. So can you explain the core? I mean, you did briefly, but let's go over this again. Can you explain the core mission of GLIF and how it fits into the broader ecosystem of Filecoin?
Absolutely. I think actually talking a little bit more about GLIF's history would help there. So I used to be an engineer at Consensus in 2017, 2018. And back then, I was working on a crypto music project called Ujo. And we were storing all of the artist music data and album art and all sorts of other data on IPFS, which is the Interplanetary File System. And we had talked about this on Wednesday. I'll give a shorter intro on IPFS, and we can talk more about it if that's interesting.
Yep.
But IPFS is a decentralized storage network. There's no crypto asset associated with it, but it's a really good way to store immutable data. And Filecoin is sort of the incentivized version of IPFS. So it's also decentralized storage amongst a bunch of different independent data storage providers. And in storing your data, they actually earn a crypto asset that is Filecoin, which they can then use to pay their bills or trade for other cryptocurrencies or whatever they decide to do. So when I learned of IPFS and what would become Filecoin, Filecoin didn't launch until 2020. I basically quit my job at Consensus and started a development studio where we were just building custom IPFS storage solutions for all different types of crypto projects, a lot of DAOs, a lot of different decentralized identity projects at that time. But one thing led to another, and the company that develops both IPFS and called Protocol Labs, they reached out and said, hey, do you want to build the Filecoin wallet for our mainnet launch? And I was like, hell yeah, that sounds great. And then they said, hey, how about our multi-sig? And I was like, yep. And they're like, how about our node hosting solution? Yep. So
Wow.
this sort of all these different apps and tools that we were building for the Filecoin network sort of became GLIF. It was this umbrella brand that represented all these different sort of interoperable solutions that we were sort of putting out there for the launch. And so we've been around a sort of core partners of the Filecoin ecosystem for quite a long time. Fast forward, about 2 years. So we got a multi-year grant from the Filecoin Foundation, which was just like, hey, go solve the network's most important problems. Now, at that time, there were many important problems to solve. But for me, like I grew up studying economics and finance, actually not like software engineering. I learned that later. And so the fact that we had, the biggest Filecoin wallet with a lot of the ICO investors, as well as some knowledge about how to develop DeFi protocols, we figured, hey, building Filecoin's first DeFi protocol to allow the Filecoin token holders to earn rewards on their tokens would be a good next thing to build, and that's what we did, and that's been out for now a couple years.
No, man, that sounds really cool. It sounds like Filecoin, just like any new network when it comes out, there's infrastructure and different things that need to be put in place or built out to make that an even bigger ecosystem. And it sounds like you and your team were at the heart of that. So that's really, really cool to hear. Were there any, challenges that you guys identified when you guys started to do all this? Is that the reason you got into this, or was it more just you had the expertise, you had the knowledge, you had the passion, and you just jumped right in?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think a little bit of both, right? So many challenges. I mean, Filecoin, we have a joke that Filecoin is kind of like a professor chain. Back in 2019, the ecosystem of Filecoin and IPFS had a lot of really smart kind of like academic type people, cryptographers, crypto economists, all different sorts of people that were very like white paper denominated, very academic in their ways. And because of that, we've developed some really interesting stuff as an ecosystem, but also really complicated. Filecoin is super confusing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that has kind of propagated up to even the user experience and how people sometimes complain about it's hard to actually put data on Filecoin. You have to know something about the network, which we've been trying really, really hard to fix and improve these last couple of years. So yes, both really challenging just in getting to understand this behemoth. But also for me, that challenge is also a really like fun and fulfilling and also quite an opportunity. So I think that's why we were able to sort of get to the position where we are now. We stuck with it. We just, challenge after challenge, just keep solving those problems. And eventually you make something that people like and holds a couple $100 million now, which is pretty exciting.
Nah, man, that's awesome. And then, can you talk to us a little bit about like how you see Glyph being a vital part of storage? Not storage, excuse me, a Filecoin. How would you, is it about storage? Is it about creating an even bigger network? Is it about liquidity? I mean, what are the key things that you guys are trying to solve with Glyph?
Yeah, I think you nailed like a bunch of those points right there. I think answer D, all the above. But I could go, I'll go into a little bit more detail. So on Filecoin, if you think of Filecoin kind of like Airbnb for data storage, like if you or I have extra storage space at our homes, ideally we could rent it out. Now, and this is something we talked about on Wednesday, it's not that simple yet. So you can't run Filecoin on your laptop super easily. And I probably wouldn't recommend it at this point either, but eventually we will hopefully get there. And so the idea here though is imagine if Airbnb, when you as a host, you had to put down a security deposit to ensure that as a host you would remain honest, right? Like, and if I invite a guest over, I'm charging for renting out my home. If I don't have the right keys in place so that the guest can't get in, or the guest comes in and they're like, this is not the pictures that were online, well, then my security deposit that I've given and put down with Airbnb would get slashed. And that's how Filecoin works with data storage. So if I store some data with you, Rob, then you have to put down a security deposit kind of based on sort of network-wide economics. It fluctuates, but it's also based on how much storage space are you actually providing. Mm-hmm. And that can become prohibitively expensive for certain storage providers and data centers that are storing, petabyte scale data, which is like really big. And I tell the Filecoin Foundation, this is a side tangent. I tell the Filecoin Foundation all the time to run photo shoots of the biggest storage providers, because like exabyte scale storage is massive and it looks way bigger than what you would think. So anyways, that's a side note. But the idea here is there was a major capital inefficiency, a big gap where storage providers who wanted to store data on Filecoin and grow, they needed Filecoin to put down as collateral for that security deposit. And Filecoin token holders like myself, we really had no way to actually provide that Filecoin to them as a security deposit and share in the rewards. And so Glyph made a market for that on the FEVM, which is Filecoin's smart contract layer. And we bridged that gap. And that's why we've been able to grow so explosively over the last couple of years, because there really wasn't a thing that existed in that space for Filecoin. Again, it existed in Ethereum with protocols like Lido or Rocket Pool and probably several others at this point. Same with Solana and other proof of stake networks. And so Filecoin needed this as well. And so it does all the above, right? It helps to secure the network. It helps storage providers grow in providing liquidity to a capital market. It also helps Filecoin token holders earn their rewards and keep up with Filecoin inflation. So yeah.
Can you jump in, before we kind of keep going with GLIF, I want to understand, because I know there's a lot of people listening that may be looking at Filecoin as a potential, project that they want to own and use in the future. Can you talk to us maybe, because you obviously have, some type of knowledge that like the whole planet doesn't, right? Because you're involved with building out this infrastructure. So where do you see Filecoin going in the future? And do you see, as data moves from Web 2 into Web3, is Filecoin going to play a pivotal role? Would you say that's the biggest type of file storage crypto ecosystem in all of the crypto industry? Or where are we with this, and who do you see is using it, and how long is it going to take to make that jump from this Web 2 to Web 3 for data providers and stuff?
It's a great question. And there's many ways this can play out, right? So this is just like part opinion, part prediction. And I don't have all the answers, but I definitely am well informed. I think, so first, let's talk about Filecoin as like an asset, and why, for me, like, again, not financial advice, but for me, I have a lot of hopium for Filecoin as a good crypto asset to hang on to. We've obviously chosen to build our business on it and have had opportunities to go onto other chains, and we choose to stay here. And I think one of the interesting data points here is to think about, I have this generally, and this is not my theory, but I look at crypto investing a lot like counting calories in a diet. So like, if you want to lose weight, you want to output more calories than you input. If you want to gain weight, you want to eat more calories than you spend, right? For crypto asset investing is a very similar thesis. You want more capital inflows than capital outflows for the number to go up, right? So when you look at a crypto asset, it becomes really useful to think about, well, what are these capital inflows? What causes them? And for an enormous amount of crypto right now, and I think we talked about this on Wednesday, those inflows are predominantly speculation. Even in projects that have amazing fundamentals, still most of the inflows are due to speculation about some future thing happening, right? Now, and that is still predominantly the case for Filecoin today as well. So if you take some stats, and we should double check these, because I've taken these probably a couple months ago. But I read somewhere that all of the VC funding, this again ignores retail, and retail is substantial in size. All the VC funding into crypto in 2024 was maybe like 11 billion, 12 billion around. So now if you look at cloud storage, right, when you look at what might be Filecoin's capital inflows, the answer there is to sell storage, right? And so when we look at what might that number be, we should look at like, what's the total cloud storage market cap, right? And then take a small percentage of that and see like what that would come to. And so last I checked with a certain source, and I can link this after the call, I definitely have this written down somewhere. In 2032, the cloud storage market is expected to reach between 600 and 700 billion dollars.
Yeah.
Now that's like, I think it could even be more given what we're seeing with AI, right? Like, we've already seen Sam Altman talk about a $500 billion infrastructure spend in just the US, right? Like that. So and that's just for AI infrastructure and stuff like that. Again, that's not selling storage, but like the dollar amounts that we're talking about are in this range. If you say cloud storage is at $700 billion, Filecoin, with a 2% market share of the cloud storage market, basically outweighs all of the VC capital inflows into all of crypto this year. And so that to me is a really interesting point, and something that makes me really optimistic about Filecoin. It's a very ambitious project. Decentralized storage is extremely difficult, and competing with Amazon and Google on anything is very, very hard. So really, really ambitious, and no promise that we'll ever get there. But if we do, good thing. Like it will be really good for Filecoin, the asset. I feel like you had a multi-part question, and at first I was just talking about Filecoin. What do you remember
No, you're good. I think we talked about like the, accessible market for Filecoin. And then how long do you think, is that 2032? Do you think that's about the time it's going to take? Or do you think next market? I mean, obviously, as data become, let me back up here. When I log on to like Experian or some of these sites, it says that my data has been hacked or my passwords have been hacked. All of this information, right, is already being hacked by all kinds of different people, right? And I think like as quantum computers become more mainstream, that data is just a sitting duck, right? So does that force, big companies, conglomerates, governments, big pharma, doctors, does that force them to bring their data from this Web 2 world and push it into Web 3 to keep it secure and safe? Like, and if so, what do you see the timeline on that horizon?
Yeah, that's a great question. I love talking about security. I think, being completely honest, there are trade-offs between Web 2 and Web 3 storage in terms of their security. When your data is spread out amongst, let's say, 100 different nodes that are all independently operating a little data center, if you need to make an update that says, hey, we need to create better encryption for quantum, that becomes a harder update to roll out over 100 different data centers. Yeah. Whereas like if you're just storing your data in one place, hopefully they can do their job and upgrade. Whereas like other aspects of security are much, much better in decentralized systems. So when you have any sort of censorship, you can basically get locked out of your data, right? Like we've seen developers of popular crypto projects get locked out of GitHub where all their code lived. Now that's a really big issue, and that does not happen in sort of this like decentralized network where you can negotiate with different data providers all in one go. So I think like there's a lot of work to be done on parts of the security model that affect Web 2 businesses that still affect Web 3 businesses in similar ways. But, I think there's immediate benefits for a lot of folks who don't have a place that they trust their data storage. I think like, I think you're somewhere around, the US or the Western part of the world. I am too. And we have it pretty good for a lot of the things that we want to do, whether it's money, whether it's, storage and internet and cloud, banking, you name it. But when you take that global perspective, not everyone has it this good, right? And actually very, very few people do, I would say. And so the types of things that we worry about here and the types of things that other people worry about are a lot of the times really different. So in terms of like timeline, generally, I think like any blockchain project, and Filecoin is a layer 1 blockchain, and that came out in October of 2020. I think probably the first 2 years, the most blockchains are really good at just producing blocks. Like that's all they do, right? They're not really selling that much block space. They're not really doing their unique value proposition. They're there, and the development teams of those blockchains are working on the blockchain-y parts, right? So like first 2 years of Filecoin, maybe even 3, Filecoin was working on its proof system, all of the blockchain aspects of Filecoin, and not so much about its storage products that could go and compete with AWS and Google, right? We've more recently, I would say in the last 18 months, hit an inflection point where the blockchain-y parts are actually working quite well. And we're now ready to start working really on paid for storage products that can compete with AWS and Google. And we are finally at the point where if I'm going and trying to sell storage to someone, I can show them a palette of products where a Filecoin product is sitting next to an Amazon one. That's really, really exciting. Like, we're I don't know what the rules are on swearing on YouTube Live, so I have to be careful.
You're good. You're all good. I swear sometimes too, man.
Okay. I try not to, but it sometimes slips out because I get hype.
You're good. But hype it up.
So where was I? Basically, in crypto, we're all fucked up. That was what I was going for, because our timing is so off. Like, great products that are like 0 to 1 paradigm shifters take time to build, right? Yeah. And like Figma, which I would say is a really big paradigm shift in how we design. I think they found product market fit on like year 8, right? Coinbase, similar story. I think I heard Brian Armstrong say first, 6-7 years of Coinbase were really hard. Like they weren't doing what they do now. That's only kind of in the last, I don't know how long it's been, where they've really, really accelerated their growth. So this is to show that in crypto, I'll look at a token and have really, really tight time horizons and appetite, right? Which is just the industry that we're in right now. But when you look at creating real products that have product market fit and are like major paradigm shifters, these take like, hopefully not a decade, but they take a while. And
Close to it,
yeah, we're in year 5 and not even, right? So, and when you think about an enterprise sales cycle, like it may take me 12 to 24 months to close a big enterprise data customer, right? So when you put Filecoin in this light, when you say the first 2-3 years were about blockchain-y things, data onboarding, not selling storage, like competing with AWS, and the last year, 2 years has been about building competitive products against AWS, we've really only had like 1, maybe 2 sales cycles to get feedback and iterate and create better products. And so when you think about that, when we look at the timeline and you're like, how long do you think it will take? For me, sales cycles are the number one thing that will inform Filecoin enough to help it iterate to the point where it can get like to that market share. I would say the more sales cycles we can do. So if we can find a way to compress sales cycles and make them shorter, I think the time that it will take Filecoin to reach its sort of takeoff moment will be shorter. If we keep going after large enterprise clients and long lead times, long deals, it could take longer. And, so I would say somewhere between 2 and 4 years would seem like reasonable to me to compete with those types of products that, again, AWS has had what, like 20 years for like they've, so and maybe probably even longer, right? Amazon was out before that. So, and the last question you asked was, when do we shift from like Web 2 style to Web 3 style? And that's another really, really good question. I think I don't know if there will ever be a complete flippening. I think for me, I like to think about a lot of decentralized storage as more robust. It's easier to lose your data, I would say, with centralized projects than decentralized projects in a few years. So today, I would still say decentralized projects, they have holes that they need to fill. They can have bugs. So you still have some dangers there. I think Filecoin is particularly good at not losing data. It's actually quite impressive because every day you need to provide a proof that you have the data that you say you have. And that basically keeps you honest and keeps you sort of, if you don't, you're going to lose money. So the bet that I would probably take on decentralized storage is you have different types of customers. You have web customers that don't mind going and trusting in Amazon. But what they may do, because decentralized storage is really cheap, is they may have decentralized storage fallbacks. And that could be a really nice structure for storing really important data. Because, for instance, if I'm a Bitcoin miner and I have electricity that's powering my mining operations, it would probably be a really smart idea for me to have a battery powered backup in case my electricity goes down. Right. And so that's kind of how I think about decentralized storage in the context of existing enterprise clients. Maybe some of them will switch and move their data over. Others, I think, are really likely to take this as a robust backup. And then you have people who are religiously aligned with decentralized storage or decentralized primitives. These are like Web3 customers where if they store their data on AWS, it's a narrative violation for their own project, right? So that part of the storage market cap, right? So if we look at $100, $200 billion storage industry, I don't know what the number is today, but call it $100 billion and say, what portion is Web3 storage contributing to that? Like projects like blockchains or DePIN projects that are producing large amounts of data. It basically does not even show up on the pie chart. It is so small. So that part of the industry, my bet is it's going to grow much larger than the Web 2 sizes now. So because of these AI projects, because there is too much data in the world to store in AWS. So companies have to say, we actually don't care about storing this data because we don't have a place to put it. And that's going to continue to get worse with all these AI and so much training and stuff like that, that those Web3 projects, AI projects, I think they're really they're very ripe to sort of sell and convince into this new paradigm that is both cheaper and more robust. So yeah, that was a very long tangent, but
all good, man. I think you answered a lot of good questions there. Where would you say that GLIF is right now as far as their technology? When are you guys planning to launch? What milestones do you have in front of you after the launch? And then I'd love to better understand like how people can participate maybe today before the launch if they want to start using their Filecoin to get involved with what GLIF is doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So GLIF, our technology, we've been working on Filecoin technology for 6 years now. So a lot of our open source code is used by many projects in the space. So our core tech stack is really, really advanced and really stable. The new stuff that we're working on is more like a loyalty rewards program, where users of the protocol will be rewarded with GLIF kind of loyalty points, which are in the form of a token. I will be publishing, or the GLIF team will be publishing, a lot more information on like the benefit side of the loyalty program in the next few weeks. Mm-hmm. But definitely follow us on Twitter at GLIF.io for those updates, or join our Discord. The sneak peek that I can give here is, one, the best way to get involved now as a listener on the show here is, unless you're a data center, if you're a data center, come talk to me right away. We definitely get you hooked up. Yeah. If you're a crypto investor or someone who is interested in sort of Filecoin or GLIF, you can deposit Filecoin into GLIF and get back an iFill token, which is kind of like staked ETH or wrapped staked ETH or Gito Sol, or one of those liquid staking tokens. And just by holding iFill, there will be one more GLIF point drop before the token drops. So you will be able to be eligible to get tokens by depositing some Filecoin into GLIF. And I always say to people on these calls, I wouldn't look at GLIF and the loyalty reward program as a huge opportunity. Like if you aren't really excited about Filecoin or believe in what we're talking about or want to be a part of this ecosystem, I wouldn't recommend just trying to like farm GLIF loyalty rewards. I mean, you're welcome to do whatever you want, but I just say that because I don't want anyone to be disappointed or but for users of the protocol, we're really adamant about providing real benefits. Just like United Airlines with miles, or credit card points, or Chipotle rewards, which I used yesterday. And so we're trying to build that kind of stuff because to me it feels in a way sort of less sensitive to market fluctuations.
So let's say that I take my Filecoin, I bring it to GLIF, and I stake it, or whatever the term is, and I'm sure you can correct me if it's not staking it, maybe it's a different term. What is my average return looking like? I think you guys have kind of almost narrowed this down. Like, is it 5%? Is it higher? What is the average investor looking at when they're taking their Filecoin in to support GLIF and the entire Filecoin ecosystem?
Absolutely. So first of all, staking is a fine word to use. We generally use deposit. The only reason why is because Filecoin's not a proof of stake blockchain, but it works really similar. So staking's fine, depositing's fine. Currently today, the annualized returns for liquidity providers are a little over 11%. And plus these points, but the points have no value. So the thing about it though is it fluctuates with the utilization of the pool of capital that's there. So if you get into a point in time, actually like probably 6 months ago, there was not as much borrowing demand as there was last month. Last month we did like probably 4 million Filecoins in loans in 1 month, which was our best month to date, and ran out of liquidity for a little while. And 6 months before then, we had say 5-6 million Filecoin available for borrowing, and rates were a little bit lower, say like 8%. So as the assets in the pool are being used and the utilization of it goes up, then the liquidity providers earn more. So it's not a fixed rate. It does fluctuate, but right now it's a little over 11%.
Sounds like the demand is there, right? I think a lot of crypto projects and builders have a problem with demand and customers. And it sounds like, you guys are already seeing an upward trend in, what people are needing to get this all done, right? And so I'm sure you guys have looked at some numbers and trajectory. I mean, if this continues, where do you guys see yourself in 3, 6, 12 months or whatever timeline you feel is appropriate?
Oh man, yeah, I love these predictions. I by the end of the year, I would love to see the pool double in size. That's a
Okay.
pretty ambitious goal, but I think, and a lot of that is contingent on the demand for mining Filecoin and storing data. So we will be there, and it's hard because we don't feel the need to create imbalance in the economy. So we don't feel the need to really boost up deposits, and or it's good to lift both sides together, right? So as more storage providers come onto Filecoin, hopefully we'll grow that and the deposit side together. So we'll see. Pretty excited, yeah. And I
No,
think the loyalty program will definitely help.
you seem to be in the right place at the right time, which is what you need to do to be successful in life. I want to better understand kind of how you envision the future of Glyph. Besides kind of what you've explained already, are there any other key details that you guys are working on or working towards to maybe add on to the functionality or other revenue sources? Talk to us a little bit about that if you can.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think if you zoom out a little bit from Filecoin and you look at what Glyph is providing, it's kind of interesting in that we're kind of collateralizing a new type of asset, which is like mining collateral or hardware power. And that is really interesting. And that can actually be done in different types of industries, especially around hardware for AI, right? So when you look at Filecoin, you look at storage, and by collateralizing their storage providers are able to borrow more Filecoin to create more storage. What we want to do is pull this model, make it a little bit more generic, and apply it to GPUs as well. So this way, if you're running a big data center and you also have GPUs and those are earning you income, you can pledge those GPUs as collateral and borrow against them. And then you look at like, what does the trajectory of that look like? Well, it's like, can Glyph collateralize any hardware asset and allow more capital efficient markets to pop up where those types of hardware providers can get really good financial sort of tools like cash advances or loans or whatever types of insurance or whatever it may be. That's kind of the area that we're starting to look into. We've done pretty much like Filecoin is our home base, and we love Filecoin, and we're excited to broaden, in addition to Filecoin, the other types of hardware that we can help, because there's a lot in crypto, and a lot of these DePIN projects are really, they've done a great job at bootstrapping their hardware supply, and so there's a lot of demand for these types of services, and we've been asked by a few different teams to do this type of thing, and so those are really good opportunities that we might bite off, but no promises there. That's
Of course.
competitive. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to, I mean, it takes time to develop the idea and of course, build out the idea, test the idea, make sure it works. I totally understand. Talk to us, community is obviously, one of the most important thing. I've seen a lot of Web2 companies coming in to build in Web3, and they don't understand how important the community aspect is, and they failed. And you've been in this space quite some time, so you understand how important the community aspect is. So what type of feedback have you gotten from your community, and have you made any changes because of that feedback to make the protocol even better?
Yeah, I love that. So I think we had developed a really, really strong but pretty small community just from our early Filecoin days, right? Like building the first wallet or multisig or whatever it was. So we are really close with a lot of the Filecoin OGs, you could say. And that has been Glyph's early community. And when I think for us, we've struggled to grow beyond that. And so our community is actually not super big for the amount of volume and TVL that the protocol has. Like, we do around 2.5 million fill in volume a week on average over all of 2024. And that's among like 10,000 or less users, right? So that's like very different from what a lot of other DeFi on a lot of other chains looks like. So for us, how we're changing it, I think like we want to expand who the types of people that are interested in what we're doing. And so some of the products that I think we'll put out will be attractive to different types of people that maybe don't even understand Filecoin or don't know about it, but are interested in DePIN or these types of decentralized storage. Or I've been really interested in figuring out, and maybe I'd be curious to hear what you have to say about this too. Like there's, you know how narratives kind of collide or like they can kind of connect. Like we have DeFi AI as one right now. I am honestly surprised that we haven't seen DeFi and DePIN as a combined narrative. And I've been really like GLIF is that, right? Like we combine the powers of DePIN, distributed hardware, retail owned hardware, consumer owned hardware, and being able to use that hardware to get loans, get cash, whatever you need. That to me is a really interesting niche. And we're trying to build a community in that space because I think there's a lot there with like real world assets, and the more diverse perspectives that you have and like the power of memetics is really there, you can actually start to create new types of interest in these types of products, which I think is a really big opportunity in the age of AI, and a good intersection between crypto and AI that is to me a little less fluffy. Like I don't know much about the AI bots or the agents, but a lot of those coins, like we had talked about on Wednesday night, like they're not, some of them are definitely doing really advanced stuff, but I think a lot of them are not, right? And so this combining DePIN for AI and DeFi and crypto to me is a really interesting kind of place to sit. But our community is so small that no one else would like really know about that, right? And that's kind of how are we changing things? Well, that's why I'm like having more of these types of conversations. And thanks again for having me on your show.
Of course, man.
We get to talk with new people and new groups, and so that's kind of the answer.
Well, I want to do this. I want to show people where they can find more information, and I have a few other questions I want to ask you too here. So let's bring up. I want to show people the Twitter for GLIF. So just so everyone knows here, if you want to search it on Twitter, it's GLIF IO. So they have about 6,192 followers. Let me bring up the website here.
Thank you. Yeah, this is super helpful.
Absolutely. So, you know, I'm a regular user. I'm listening to this. What you're saying piques my interest. I have Filecoin. I want to put my Filecoin to work. This 11.2% APY that fluctuates looks kind of juicy to me. You know, what am I going to do here? I'm going to connect my wallet and just click deposit Filecoin. Walk us through this.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So if you hit deposit Filecoin, you will end up on the pool page. Here's where you can see all the stats. Once your wallet is connected, you'll see like on the right side, the iFill and fill balances will be populated. And then, that's
a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money locked up. $176 million.
That's it helps me sleep well at night.
I bet it does.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. But whenever you're ready to make a deposit, you just type in whatever amount of Filecoin that you want on the right, and that will show you how much. Oh, that's weird. Found a funny little bug.
Oh, I might have just dragged it. Oh yeah, I get a bug bounty, right? Since I just found something. I'm just kidding. Dude.
So you type in the amount and then you just click deposit. You'll sign a transaction and you're done. And then when you want to withdraw it, you click on that withdraw tab on the right of deposit and you just do the reverse. If you can see that, if you look at the deposit tab there, like right above amount, there it is. Perfect. So that's it. It's really easy. That's about it.
Beautiful. And then guys, anytime that you're looking at any project, you definitely want to go and understand the docs a little bit more, read about it. It's actually really good. I was actually looking through all this earlier and building my questions from around this. So there's a lot of really good information here, frequently asked questions, all kind of stuff that here you can get into with this. You know, John, I don't know what I don't know about your project. And I always like to ask, you know, what are we leaving out? What are we forgetting? What else is important that people should understand about what you're doing?
This is such a good question. I feel like you've done a really good job at asking like the right and important questions, to be honest. If I can drop any Easter eggs or anything that is cool or fun. Well, I guess one thing is, hey, even outside of GLIF DeFi earning rewards, we still have our original wallet and multi-sig that is available on the website completely for free. So even if you're just a Filecoin user and you want to explore other DeFi protocols, kind of like a rising tide lifts all ships kind of thing, we root for our competitors on Filecoin because Filecoin, we need to do better as a whole community. And so you can use these tools, the wallet, the multi-sig, like you just mentioned, there's tutorials for how to use them on our docs. And these are just helpful tools for the ecosystem if you need them. If you're transferring money off an exchange or you want a better, more secure setup with multi-sigs, that's kind of the way to go.
Okay. Anything else that, kind of you want to get to before we kind of end the conversation today?
Well, keep your eyes on us. Follow our account on Twitter. Follow me too. I drop some news as well. I'm at J_Schwartz SCHWARTZZ, and keep on the lookout. Our token will come out soon, and it's going to be a little different than some of the other DeFi projects because we have a real protocol with a lot of traction, and that opens the doors for this loyalty program and benefits. And I'm really excited to share that work with the world.
I love that, John. And then, hey guys, I just want to remind everybody that I did share the website, the Twitter, and I shared John's Twitter, which is right here too. So make sure that you're following, make sure to start engaging. And then John, really quickly, what's the best, is it Discord? Is it Telegram? Where is the best place for people to get updates about what you guys are doing?
Telegram is good for updates. It's just like a one-way update channel, and Discord is for like the community. If you want to get involved, ask questions, or you have a trouble with one of our products, you can open support tickets and talk with the team. So Discord's more of like community engagement. Sure. Telegram's for announcements, and Discord has the announcements as well.
All right, man. Hey, well, John, thank you for helping us.
Thank you for having me.
Dude, yeah. I think it's really great. We don't get, I haven't had too many people that are building on Filecoin come on and talk with the channel. So I know there's going to be some members and some people in the community that actually have Filecoin, that this could be something that they're actually looking forward to put their crypto to work and make some of that extra APY. So I'm so thankful that you come and you help share all of your ideas and your vision for decentralized storage and the future of this. And it's really important. So thank you for your time, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks for asking great questions. It's fun time.
It's an honor.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. I'll see you next time. Right.
Cheers. See ya.
Oh man, I love interviewing incredible builders in the space, guys. John Schwartz, really cool. We did a Twitter space on Wednesday. Go listen to that space. We kind of talk a little bit of back and forth about the crypto market. It was just a really powerful. John's a highly intelligent guy. A lot of fun to speak with him, and I'm thankful that I get the opportunity to speak with people of his caliber. These are really the people that are building out the future and the technology for our future. And it's just a lot of fun. So just a special thanks to John and the whole GLIF team and Felice for connecting us. So thank you so much. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into some crypto news. I'm so excited to have you here with me. I want to start out, of course, where we start out is taking a look at the market to understand where we are, where we're going. There's still about 600 of you guys here. Great to see you. I just want to say hi to the chat here. So we have, let me just do this real quick. Hey, Sensei, what is the difference in XRP and RLUSD? What is better to invest in? Hey, Akalo, great question. So XRP is the layer 1 decentralized network that Ripple has built their technology on. There's a lot of other builders in the XRP space. Of course, you have meme coin builders. You have people building out multi-sig, wallets, all kinds of different things. So it's a huge ecosystem filled with incredible people. RLUSD is a stable coin on the XRP ledger and on Ethereum. So those values will not go up or down, right? It's supposed to be a stable value at $1. So if you are unsure about like Tether, USDT, or USDC, if you want something maybe a little bit more highly regulated, RLUSD is going to be that stable coin. And of course, XRP is something that I think could have tremendous value in the future. I hope that answers your question, my friend. So let me do this. Let me go through some news here, ladies and gentlemen, and then I'll get into answering some of your questions, if that's okay. A lot of stuff to go over with you here. Let's go ahead and start here. And then also too, guys, if you can like and share the space, we still have about 600 people hanging out. I'd love to see this get to over 1,000. So America is embracing Bitcoin. If you can see here, we have a state by state race for Bitcoin strategic reserve. So you can see Alabama all the way down to Wyoming, where it is, public endorsement, bill introduced, committee approval, House, Senate approval, and then signed into law. So still some time here. So the U.S. government might not be interested in a Bitcoin strategic reserve, but states have their own municipalities and their own money, and they might be interested in investing in it. It'd be interesting to see if the U.S. does deny Bitcoin as a strategic reserve, if that will affect anything these states are actually doing themselves. Also here, I thought this was cool. I'm going to play this and get some water. 1 second. All right. You get the picture. Okay. Let me go back to share my screen. Sorry, I just had to get some water there and use the restroom. Let's get back into this, guys. A lot of other stuff to get to. Got a ton of Bitcoin, XRP news coming up here too. Next time someone says Bitcoin is just a bubble, show them this.
Ladies and gentlemen, bubbles.
You know what? I'm not going to play that. I don't really care. I did think this was interesting. This is actually on the NASDAQ. They're actually talking about what's next beyond Bitcoin. I think the messaging here is, I think a lot of people have been focused on Bitcoin and the ETF. And I think now that you have banks and CEOs coming and talking about they're going to start using crypto in their payment infrastructure, the message is changing, especially on national programs in the United States. Listen to this.
For a lot of viewers who are kind of new to crypto and don't really know what to think about stablecoins, don't really know what to think about wrapped assets like wrapped treasuries, stablecoins are great because they help keep value on chain where it needs to be. Wrapped treasuries and RWA items that are used for collateral, great. They allow people to keep things on chain, just to keep everything away from the fiat world. That's critically important. They say, well, how does that affect me? I don't know what to buy after Bitcoin. All of those things have to settle on a blockchain. They're not their own blockchains. They might settle on Ethereum or another blockchain, but they're going to need one. So when everyday investors are thinking, how can they expand their crypto knowledge outside of Bitcoin? Think of all the things that we're talking about. Most of them are going to have to settle, be executed and cleared onto a blockchain. Which blockchain those are going to be among the winners. So just a little bit to
listen to this real quick. This is really important. Check this part out. They expand their crypto knowledge out of Bitcoin. Listen to this.
Think of all the things that we're talking about. Most of them are going to have to settle, be executed and cleared onto a blockchain. Which blockchain those are going to be among the winners. So just a little bit to spread the knowledge. We're trying to get people past Bitcoin, which basically just moves from one address to another, into the future of finance. And all of the stuff that we're talking about here is going to have to participate.
Did you hear what he said? Basically, the future of finance isn't Bitcoin. And I think we understand that, right? If you've watched enough of my content, if you've watched enough of my videos, if you've been in enough Sensei chats, we know that Bitcoin is a store of value. That's it. Okay. You're not talking about central bank digital currency. You're not talking about cross-border payments. You're not talking about tokenization of assets. And that's where the real winners will be. That's exactly what he said. I thought that was powerful. All right. You know what? I might want to play this later. Let me put this back here a bit because I want to show you some interesting stuff coming up here. Bitcoin retail investors sent 625 million in Binance in January, while whales held on to the majority of selling. I played this for you guys a bunch. I'm not going to play this clip. This is the head of the European Central Bank saying that Bitcoin is not for the European central banks. They will not be holding Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset. Also, altcoin season starts in February. It looks like over the past, 8 to 10 years, it has been really green in February, and hopefully this continues, right? So February, March, April, if we look back into 2021, definitely be trying to take some profits February, March, and April. It does look like things start to cool off in May and June as people start traveling. And then July and August usually are green months, followed by September, red month, and then maybe October, November. As it gets to the end of the year, this is where I'm going to be looking to get out of the market unless something drastically changes for the upside. Also, Cardano Plomin hard fork goes live. Bridge bringing full decentralized governance to ADA. I thought that was pretty cool. Also, 2025 altcoin season, it's on its way, guys. We are at a low point here. Get ready, buckle up, and enjoy February. It does look like this person says the 9-year trend hasn't been broken, and every time it touched, an altcoin rally followed. Are we ready? It just touched here. Here we go for altcoins hitting big gains. I did want to touch base on this, guys. This is embarrassing. I made a video about this. This is going to come out a little bit later on today, probably. This gentleman is actually being interviewed on Yahoo Finance, and he's bashing XRP. I want to let you listen to what he says. Also, take note, this girl gets the XRP wrong. She says RXP, so she doesn't know what she's talking about. This guy is a Bitcoin maxi, and I will show you that. I have proof backing that up. It's just awful. Listen to this.
I see the downside less in terms of impacting Bitcoin in particular and more pertaining to other altcoins, specifically Ripple. There's a lot of positive sentiment.
Ripple is not an altcoin. Ripple is a company that's built a blockchain infrastructure on the XRP ledger. He gets Ripple and XRP mixed up, as people that don't know anything about XRP or Ripple usually do.
In the market for Ripple right now, and a lot of excitement around Ripple as potentially a strategic reserve. But I see a lot of fundamental flaws in XRP in particular, and honestly view a strategic reserve backed by Ripple as being the demise of the network itself.
Notice how he keeps getting it wrong. I mean, if you're going to go on a national news program like Yahoo Finance, at least get some of your facts straight. I just think this guy doesn't not know what he's talking about, but it gets worse. Listen.
A number of reasons.
And there's a little bit about RXP. You seem to be hot on that issue. Certainly, we have seen a massive surge, to say the least, up by 50+%, I believe, since the start of the year. When you talk about worrisome signs here, why you are a bit concerned, lay that out for us.
Mm-hmm. So it really goes back to the fundamental behavior of how Ripple itself operates. XRP, the token, runs on the XRP ledger, a decentralized ledger of sorts, which has largely been scrutinized for being controlled and manipulated by Ripple Labs, an independent organization that I somewhat view as smoke and mirrors. Ripple Labs maintains a lot of influence over XRP, particularly how networks are validated by selecting a node list of validators that process all transactions. And most participants in the network use Ripple Labs' default node list. So what does that really mean? Why does that matter for all of this? I actually view this kind of weakness and fail point in the centralized aspects of Ripple as really being why the government would even consider it to be a key candidate.
So his argument is that Ripple XRP is centralized and Ripple controls the node network. That was his argument. I'm going to show you some proof here in just a second that what he's saying is completely inaccurate.
For reserve, because they could actually purvey mass regulatory overreach and influence to ensure that any transactions that occur on the Ripple network itself comply with all US regulations, comply with all.
God forbid that anybody that Ripple works with, which are banks and financial institutions, need to comply with laws, right? That's crazy. God, how dare they comply with what the banking regulation is and the laws? No wonder, right? These guys should be ashamed of themselves. I mean, this guy's arguments are really terrible.
nation state laws. They may ban particular transactions from
particular
institutions or nodes domiciled in particular geographical regions. And that fragmentation of trust will really lead and ultimately result in a large breakdown of the network itself, potential forks, loss of network value. And then it just kind of begs you to ask the question, what's the point of this decentralized token at all? It's not going to compete with Visa in terms of speed or performance.
That's a lie. That's also a lie. I'm going to pull that up as well.
It's not going to compete with anything that we know from a centralized perspective, but yet it will become a captured network in that respect. So I view it as a quasi-centralized token that doesn't necessarily have fundamental competitive.
Okay, let's go over this one more time here. So this gentleman basically just threw the book at Ripple. This guy, his name is Anthony Giordis, right? And he's a general partner at Innovating Capital. Interesting. Okay, so let's take a look at his LinkedIn here. So here he is, general partner at Innovating Capital. I wanted to see what Innovating Capital actually does. So I went to their website, which is Innovating Capital right here. And I scrolled down and I said, okay, well, what do these people invest in, right? You'll never believe this, but it shouldn't be shocking to you to see that they invest in Bitcoin. Right? Big shock that most of their investments in the cryptocurrency space is Bitcoin. Innovating Capital primarily invests in Bitcoin. Okay? That's what they do. All right? Also, how many nodes on the XRP ledger does Ripple run? 1 out of 35 validators. Right? And then also there's 118 other validators on the XRP ledger. Okay. Also, he said that Ripple, or XRP, cannot compete with Visa's transactions. Well, it's interesting, right? Visa is capable of processing 24,000 transactions per second. Actually, if you look at Temenos T24 with Ripple and XRP, they can process 150,000 transactions in a second using that particular use case. So everything that guy just said is inaccurate and a lie. Crazy stuff, isn't it? Crazy stuff. If you start digging into what these people are saying, they have a motive, right? They understand. Here, let me show you why this guy is scared. Did I pull that up? I think I did. Hold on. No, I didn't. Let me pull it up from my other video. Give me 1 second here. I want to show you something else here. 1 second. Here. This is what I wanted to show you. Check this out. All right. The reason Bitcoin maximalists are scared right now is this. Will Trump create a reserve for the first 100 days for Bitcoin? Look at this. It used to be close to 50%, just the middle of January, and now it's dropped down to 15%. Bitcoin people are scared. They want you, the retail user, to come in, buy Bitcoin so they can dump on you. That is the reason this guy is on Yahoo Finance just spewing lies and hate about Ripple and XRP. You know what? Someone's got to put these people in their place. Just a little bit of research. I'm just shocked that Yahoo lets people on their program without verifying anything the person is talking about, nor do they have an opposing side to the person's, viewpoints. I just think it's crazy shit. He didn't look smart to lie that well. Kelly, you're so funny. You're funny, Kelly. They just want their backs pumped. Man, tell me about it. I made a buy limit on $1 on Bitcoin. Cool, man. Do you think XRP's price is currently being throttled? Throttled is a really weird word. I think there could be some market manipulation, as it is the entire crypto market is manipulated by whales. You can't really get out of that right now. Will that change in the future? I think so, but there is market manipulation. All right, so a few other things here. Tether, the issuer of USDT, reported a record net profit of $13 billion. That is insane. Tether issued over $23 billion in USDT, bringing the total annual insurance to $45 billion USDT. Annual issuance, of $45 billion USDT last year. Crazy shit. Also, I made Senator Loomis basically is still out here trying to get a Bitcoin strategic reserve pass is because people are funding her campaign and they're giving her donations to go out and do this.
No central bank digital currency. I'm so happy about that because that's a means of surveillance of the American people. But we want to make sure people
That's also something ignorant, but okay.
can have individual wallets for their Bitcoin. So they have that sovereign over their own money. We know we want the US dollar to remain strong. And actually having Bitcoin in reserve can help the US dollar remain strong.
Yeah, keep trying. I don't think you're getting anywhere. But anyways, President Trump's going to sign some executive orders today. We don't know if they're going to involve crypto. I will keep you up to date. DeepSeek's reported $6 million AI trading cost is misleading as it only covers the final phase and omits significant infrastructure and development expenses. Total spending is estimated near $1 billion. So, this is just, we kind of knew this was going to happen, right? China reporting accurate data is not something that they're good at or they like to do. Hopefully markets will start to calm down off of what they did here. Grayscale launches a Dogecoin trust, citing Doge's shift from meme coin to tool for global financial inclusion. That's interesting. Trump's World Liberty just bought 2.9 thousand Ethereum worth about $10 million. They're prepping for February. All right. I like this, dude. Let me play this for you.
If the people knew what the banking system is up to, as Henry Ford said, there would be a revolution tomorrow morning. The fact is, most people think that what a bank does is lend you money that someone else has put in the bank previously. But what a bank actually does, what a commercial bank does, is to create money from nothing and then lend it to you at interest. If I do that, if I manufacture money in my own home, it's called counterfeiting. If an accountant creates money out of nothing in the company accounts, it's called cooking the books. But if a bank does it, it's perfectly legal. And so long as you allow fraud to be legalized, then all kinds of problems are going to pop up in the economic system, which you can't do anything about.
Really interesting point of view there. I think banks have really had their own way with everything over the last few decades, maybe the last few hundred years. But as cryptocurrency makes its debut on the world stage, people are looking to become their own banks. And I think people with enough of a certain crypto asset might be just that. So Bank of America only using XRP for its transactions. Let me play this.
Another one you like is Ripple. You said it is the coin to be looking at right now.
Absolutely.
Why?
Okay, so Ripple actually was the second largest coin prior to the SEC's.
Why does everybody get Ripple and XRP wrong? I get it, right? Ripple is the company. I just, like, you're on Fox News now, which is the most watched news network in the entire world, probably. I just don't understand. It baffles me.
Investigation of them. They did this really weird lawsuit against them. And basically, the Ripple's going to be the track that everything's going to be running on in the future. So they created their own stable coin right now.
Okay.
And Bank of America, like I said, they were doing 100% of their internal transactions. They've got 83 different patents on it. And there's some incredible stuff that's going to be coming out. So.
All right. Let me just check in with you guys, see how you're doing in the chat here. We talked about that. I made a buy limit order. We talked about that. You are the real deal with information. Hey, Crude, I appreciate you, man. Just trying to provide information. I think you're talking to me and the community, but like, you know, when I see people like going out on live TV to lie and push false information to, you know, like the guy's lying because his company invests in Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin becomes a strategic reserve asset for the US, he's going to make money, right? Like that is the reason he's out there. And I think money and the reason that a lot of people do this is misguided, right? We need to be giving the public real facts, not fantasies of what somebody particular thinks. Like, I just don't, it bothers me, man. It bothers me deeply. So anyways, Ripple put out their Q4 report. Let me get into this with you really quickly. Got some juice in here. So key highlights: after years of market manipulation by the SEC, XRP, once the second most valuable digital asset, rebounded as the regulatory overhang eased, surging by 280% in Q4. President Trump's executive order marked by a momentum shift, paving the way for innovation and tremendous growth in the U.S. by calling for regulatory clarity through comprehensive legislation and fair banking access to legal crypto businesses. The demand for XRP products continued on its positive trajectory as Wisdom Tree CoinShares filed S1 for spot XRP ETFs, joining 3 other ETF issuers, Bitwise, Canary Capital, and 21 Shares. It also goes through a bunch of other information that I will be covering in a video on my channel. I don't want to go and read it all to you. All fund managers have to pump their own bags. I get it, man. I get it. I just, I'm not a fund manager, right? And so I'm just going to call it how I see it. And that's how I've always done it. And, I wish they would ask me to go on Yahoo and talk to them about XRP and Ripple. And I'd set the story straight, but maybe I need a few 100,000 more followers to do that. Let's see what this says. Razar says, "Hey Sensei, I'm new to crypto, but I invested last month in XLM, HBAR, and XRP. Is that a good start for building a crypto portfolio? Greeting from Germany. I love your videos." Great. Hey, first of all, thank you so much for all your support. I really do appreciate you. And yes, welcome to the crypto market. It's incredible. It's fun. It can be stressful at times if you're losing money, but if you're making money, it can be extremely exciting. Really quickly, XLM, HBAR, and XRP are an incredible way to start your crypto portfolio. You can add like Algorand, you can add Velo, you can add QNT. There's a lot of other assets that you could add to the bag, but that is an incredible place to start, man. And so really happy to have you with us. XRP for life. I love you, Tron Walker. You're the best, man. I love you. Thank you so much. All right, guys, let's get back into some more information here. I know that's what you're waiting for. Looks like SBI Shensei Bank begins utilizing Ripple's DLT technology as of today for international remittance services. It says all of Japan 2025 XRP. Since then, we have been actively incorporating the latest financial technology, such as Ripple's distributed ledger technology in the US to develop secure, inexpensive, and fast overseas remittances. Like, this just proves that everything that guy said is mostly inaccurate, right? XRP has no future. It has no value. Nobody's using it. Only the biggest bank in Japan's using it, right? Like, not a big deal, right? And the second biggest bank in America, which is Bank of America, using it. Wells Fargo using it. American Express, Visa, MasterCard, all connected to it. I just don't understand how these people don't know this, or they do know this and they're lying to you on purpose, which is shitty. All right, so BlackRock CEO, this is an older clip, but it speaks volumes to where we're heading. Let me play it.
To democratize the exchange of foreign currencies. Today, with computers and electronic market,
there shouldn't be that.
It should be 10 basis points, 5 basis points.
That makes sense.
Percent. And so I actually believe the idea around Libra, I don't think we need to create a new currency, but the technology to instantaneous calibrate all the currencies, that should be done to democratize.
Let's keep it going here. We did talk about that already. A little bit of XTC news here. So tokenized global trade versus copy trade of Dogecoin. If XTC were to reach the all-time market cap of Shiba Inu, it could put XTC at $2.62 per XDC. In other words, a market cap of 41 billion. I think this is an inevitability. XTC is also a good asset you could probably add to your bags, my friend. It says, but it doesn't even quite even equate to 0.05 of the industry XTC is disrupting. As we know, global trade is valued at over 30 trillion. Do we expect XTC to not capture 100% of that value? Of course not. Of course not. But it says, but even just a fraction of that would put XTC in a completely different position where it currently is. We're already went from 120 to 69 in just a matter of a few months. Once again, this growth was driven by pure speculation from markets. Remember, guys, we are always in a speculation market until global regulation is reached, until Basel III framework is met for banks, and until we reach a point of reflection where the world is starting to use these crypto assets to do tokenize the value, move the value. That is where utility will come from. And then also too, here's from Wrath Economy. It says, note the speaker Casterman is on the XCC board, and XCC is quoted in the statement to Does it hint at a RLUSD payment channel for the document handling XDC can provide? It seems significant that the IFTA is launching a new B2B payments workstream. So there might be some connections with XDC and RLUSD. Time will tell what actually happens with that. Also, guys, listen, this is a great, I'm glad I had this, right? This is a great place to start. If you're new to crypto, please start researching some of these cryptos on our screen here. I'll give you a really quick breakdown. You know, XRP and Ripple, we talk about it all the time. Constellation DAG, I would be a little bit more weary of that one until they can get mainnet going and they can, you know, get a little bit more market share. XDC, Stellar, Hedera, IOTA, those are great places to start. Casper Labs, obviously, they have some really cool technology. I think they will finally make their way, hopefully soon. Algorand, Quant, and then, of course, LCX Exchange. All right, let's keep it going. XDC is locked and loaded. It's just retested the neckline for a double bottom pattern, held strong. The setup is screaming breakout incoming. Also here, Larry Fink believes tokenized bonds and stocks are the future. I played this a few times, but if you're new, this will be the first time you hear this.
But crypto is going to play a big role. Digitization of currency, digitization of everything we're doing. I'm a big believer, and this is one thing that will change Bloomberg even. I believe we're going to be in the cutting edge of tokenizing bonds and stocks. And we have the technology now. The fact that we are now moving forward in tokenization, every bond and stock, is crazy. We should be moving towards that frontier. Obviously, there's winners and losers and all that, but we need to be prepared for the tokenization. And it would democratize more finance if we tokenize bonds and stocks.
Tokenizing bonds and stock, that's where a lot of money will come from. All right, fams, do you know what ultra bullish on Algorand in the 2025 bull run? The stage is set for Algorand to dominate this cycle. Here's why. Supply squeeze incoming. 83% of algo is already in circulation. Was just at 50% in 2021. No more early unlocks, minimal dilution risk, staking rewards, fixed supply, real world demand is skyrocketing, scalability, utility, growth, explosive. Algorand's looking to take off too, guys. So this might be a good time to take a look at Algo. Here we go. Algorand 3D chart. Looks like it's just finishing up here before it makes a move higher. 89 cents, maybe even $1.50 over the next few months. Made in USA coins are doing the rounds on Crypto X these days. With Trump administration set to have zero tax on American crypto projects, now could be the opportune time to research and look at them. That's great information to know. Updated HBAR technical chart analysis. Let me play this for you.
Whichever way you decide to analyze Hedera, it's a bullish damn story, guys. And we're talking predominantly here about technicals. There is a great fundamental narrative that sees it do this. Also, we're expecting a big move against Ethereum being the largest altcoin. I think Ethereum is going to continue to lose dominance in relation to the space. So not only are we expecting hundreds of % in terms of, and let's look at what the percent is in terms of from where Hedera is to that $2 sort of 22 cents mark. Remember, don't take this to the bank. This is just what we're looking at. That's a 500% move. We're looking at a 300% move against in regards to dominance, 400% move in regards to Bitcoin, and a 200% move in regards to Ethereum. And remember, this is broadly what we're looking at.
Love to hear that, man. Love to hear that. Also here, Coin Bureau HBAR, more bullish coverage, over 2 million YouTube subscribers and 1 million followers on X. Let me play this.
Now to Hedera. And again, this is where things are also interesting. As I've been mentioning the last couple of weeks, Hedera has a conference upcoming in late February. The thing that caught my eye, though, is I saw on their Twitter/X that they were really highlighting the dominance of US-based cryptos. In the case of Hedera, it's something I've been saying a lot, and I'm going to say it again. According to Bloomberg ETF analysts, they believe that Hedera will get a spot ETF before XRP, simply because Hedera is not facing the same regulatory scrutiny as Ripple and XRP. Some of you might have heard, unfortunately, the SEC appealed the case against Ripple, so that makes things a little bit uncertain. Whereas in Hedera's case, that's never been something that's been levied. Hedera, HBAR, falls into that ISO 20022 category. You know, similar audience, similar interest, same kind of institutions, same kind of investors, right? Are involved in HBAR as they are with XRP. And again, I'm not saying that HBAR is superior. I'm just pointing out out that that Hedera looks like it's going to get that ETF first. And I think that Hedera posting about these USA cryptos and everything, of course, I know that's something that's been like a emerging meta, let's say. But in the case of HBAR, I think really I think they know that an ETF is potentially coming. And I do find it very interesting that they're highlighting this USA stuff. And of course, HBAR is a USA based crypto. In any case, guys, exact same story here as XLM. HBAR is following here quite strongly. It is slowly working its way back up to this resistance level and is going to break above, I think, probably in the next week or two. Again, I know I've been saying this for a while, but you can see it's been slowly grinding its way up, and eventually this huge pattern here, which is basically a bull flag, eventually that is going to break to the upside, and we will see HBAR explode quite significantly.
Man, it's coming. It looks really good for HBAR, guys. Also, Coinbase requests CFTC to list HBAR futures on their derivatives market. It looks like HBAR is set for another resistance reset at 38 to 41 cents. Keep in mind the massive 800% plus return since November, guys. Man, we were talking about, HBAR and all this stuff back in 22 and 2023. Obviously, 2024 November was probably one of the best times to get into this right before they exploded. Anyways, let me get to some of your questions, guys. I know you've been sitting here patiently. Let's go ahead and I'm going to spend some time with you guys. Please bring on the questions. Anything that you want to ask, if I have an answer for it, I will go ahead and give it to you. So let me see if I missed anything from a previous chat. Let's see what you said here. Robbie says, thanks, Sensei. I got my family watching with me so they can get info because you explained it better. First time crypto investor last year and got into XRP around 50 cents. Robbie, I appreciate you and the family, man. That means a lot to me. I will try to keep you updated on all of the innovations and incredible things that are happening in the crypto market. I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, man. Mark says, I love Japan. Man, me too. I really want to go to Japan. Hopefully I can achieve that here in the next year or two. Binance News, all Japan banks are going live with XRP. Yeah, Catman, I've heard this for a long time. Listen, there's a difference here between all banks having the ability to use XRP and all banks using XRP. Okay, I think we need to separate those two things because I don't think all banks anywhere are going to do just one thing. I think they're going to have the ability to do multiple different things depending on whatever the transaction is. But I don't think every transaction is going to be XRP, not even close. That's just my personal feelings. I would love to be wrong about that, but I just don't want you to get your hopes up thinking that, some person somewhere on Twitter is telling you that XRP is going to $1 million tomorrow or something crazy is going to happen. I've been in the space for long enough to know that timeframes come and go and little is actually achieved or done. I do know the world is moving faster and is taking crypto more seriously. And I do think the future is bright for a lot of the assets we talk about on these live shows. Eventually, right? It's just like saying like every bank in America will use XRP. I think every bank in America will have the option to use XRP, but I don't think they will. I think a good majority of them could, but it'll all come down to like the biggest banks putting pressure on the smaller banks, right? If the bigger banks are offering a way to move value at the speed of light for pennies, not only saving the bank money, but also saving the customer money, that's a big thing that's going to play really well globally. So yeah, we talked about that, Lola. We talked about that. I actually have the clip here somewhere. I didn't play the full clip because I've had it on the show previously. But here, this is what you're talking about right here. Let me show you. So Lola's talking about this clip right here. And I mean, this is the reason Bitcoin maxis are scared, right? They thought that the entire world was going to start stockpiling Bitcoin. Unfortunately, that's not a reality, right? El Salvador is, but who else?
This matter that you referred to and whether reserves of central bank should or could include Bitcoins, I think there is a view around the table of the governing council and most likely the general council as well, that reserves have to be liquid, that reserves have to be secure, that they have to be safe, that they should not be plagued by the suspicion of money laundering or other criminal activities. And as a result, I'm confident that reserves will not enter, that Bitcoins will not enter the reserves of any of the central banks of the General Council. I had a good conversation with my colleague from the Czech Republic, and I leave it to him to make whatever announcement he wants to make, but I'm confident that he's convinced, as we all are, of the necessity to have liquid, secure, and safe reserves. On this matter that you referred to, and whether reserves...
All right, hold on. I'm looking up a fact real quick. I wanted to go over with you really quick. Something she said there's interesting, right? Over the last 10 years, Bitcoin has widely been used on marketplaces that sell illicit things like fake IDs and passports and drugs and all that type of stuff, right? Central banks don't want to be connected with Bitcoin because of its history and its past, right? XRP doesn't have that problem. And we know that Christine Lagarde has repeatedly brought up how much good work Ripple and other companies like Circle have been doing in the space. Okay. I just wanted to show you something here. All right. I want to bring this up to you because she said that oh man, I closed the freaking thing that she said. Give me 1 second. Let me bring this up to you. She says that she had a conversation with the General Council, right? So none of the countries that are part of the European Union General Council are going to consider Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset. Now, the next question you asked me is, Sensei, how many countries is that? That's a great question, audience. The answer to your question is 27 EU member states will not be considering Bitcoin as a strategic reserve, nor will probably the United States. All right. Hope that was helpful, my friends. Former banker Will Barney had something a couple months back, part of a white paper from BRICS and XRP's involvement in it. I think, Frank, appreciate you, man, for being here. Great comment there. So partly here, what you see with BRICS countries like Brazil. So BRICS, if you don't know, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa are the 5 main BRICS countries. They've been adding a lot of other countries to the BRICS alliance, but those are the 5 main ones, right? It used to be BRIC, Brazil, Russia, India, and China, and then they added South Africa. So it's BRICS. And so if you look at those countries, South Africa, Brazil, China, even Russia, like all of those countries have actually met with Ripple and have tested XRP, or XRP is being used in those countries already, right? Ripple has met with the Central Bank of Brazil. Ripple has been in Africa in the PAN's, payment system, right? They, I think it's PAPS, excuse me, Pan-African PAPS Payment System Africa. Hold on. Let me see how PAPS. There you go. It was PAPS. Make instant, secure cross-border payments in Africa. You can actually use XRP in the PAPS system, real-time transactions. Man, I should do an updated video on this. Definitely. You know what? I'm going to put a side note in my head to do this. But anyways, a lot of really cool things happening with BRICS countries and XRP. We'll have to see how all of that plays out. I do know that they're going to work on it. So let's see here. Shane says, appreciate your channel. Great info. Well-researched. Your insights and education has been very valuable. I've been building my XRP back since 2018 and holding. Always believed in its utility goal. Hey, Shane, thank you so much for all your support, man. I love you. I appreciate you. And keep learning, keep growing, man. You've been a lot earlier than other people, even before me. And so my hat's off to you, brother. Appreciate you. Let's see here. What did you say? If XRP is quick transfers between banks globally, would it not be the same in the United States between banks and institutions? So in the US, they have an instant payment system called FedNow. FedNow is going to be replacing a lot of America's old infrastructure. And you can use XRP in that system, in the ecosystem. You have like Temenos, Volante, Volante. God, there's so many other companies that Ripple's working with that are connected into that. There's also like Uphold and a few other ones that are connected into that too. And so you will see XRP moving across that network as well. Let's see. What's up, AS? Nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Do you have any hopes for BioFi or take the 60% loss? That's tough, Andrew. I haven't spoken with the founder of BioFi in a few months. I have been working very hard on my own channel and things like that. I do have some BioFi left over still. I think the altcoin market is going to heat up in February. Let me do this. Let me try to get in touch with Brian, see what kind of updates they have on phone sales and how many cell phone sales. And I will try to come back on Monday. I'm going to do Sensei Chat next Monday. I have to do it on Monday because I have a project that wants to come in and talk with you guys. It's actually a pretty cool project. I will try to have an answer for you on Monday, Andrew. Just can you come in and remind me? You know, it's hard. It doesn't feel good. I totally understand that. Let me try to get you some actual hard data so you can make a best decision. What do we say about BlackRock, Frank? Well, BlackRock and Ondo are connected, and then Ondo and Ripple and XRP are connected. So we'll have to see. This is why I watch many XRP analysts and all focus on different topics in the XRP ecosystem. Yeah, there's a lot of really incredible people that were here way before I was. And, you know, there's a lot of really amazing people. XRP Army says, hey, Sensei, did you see that they will fix YouTube video I sent you on X about the market cap of, did you send it to my Twitter? Let me see. XRP Army. Oh my God. It might be in my requests. Or did you tag me in it? If you tagged me in it, that's going to be a little bit more difficult for me to find. Let me get back to you on that. Yes, not DM. Oh, you tagged me in it. It was a comment. Ooh, okay, let's take a look here. This is what happens when I look at my comments. It's a little bit more difficult. Is it in here? I have no idea what comment it is, man. Oh, no, that's not it. Like, see, I don't think people understand this. My team puts this stuff out. It's like all good. Man, like this is why I don't check a lot of Twitter messages. People just love to spread hate, and I don't know what it is, but people's negative comments stick with me above people's positive comments. If that's weird. Anyway, I don't know, man. You have to send me that. If you can DM me what you're talking about, I'd really appreciate it. Army, I do want to touch base with you and check that out. Can you watch and see if it's worth a video? Yeah, I will definitely do that, man. If it's worth it, I will include it for sure. Kevin says, what if Ripple gives every country 1 to 2% of the escrow? Okay, well, first of all, there's only 37 billion XRP in escrow. And there's like how many countries in the world? 193. How many countries are there in the world? 193 countries. So I don't think that's ever going to happen. I don't think it's ever going to happen. I think Ripple is going to be like a IMF, World Bank themselves. And I just don't see Ripple giving XRP to anybody. Now, Ripple could make a deal with the federal government in the United States to sell escrowed XRP to them. That could happen, but I don't see why Ripple would give XRP to any country. I think they'd sell it to them. Crypto Sensei, I have 840 HBAR. Is it worth swapping it out for cryptos to make a quick profit? So trust, this is the hard part with any crypto investor, right? You wait on something for so long, you sell it to move on to something else, and once you sell that asset, it starts to go up, right? I think we just played a lot of HBAR information, and from people that understand HBAR a lot better than I do, it does sound like HBAR is about to have a breakout. So what I would suggest that you do is maybe go back in time before I started answering questions, listen to the HBAR information that I had in the chat, and try to make a best decision for you. It's very difficult, brother. Very difficult. Yeah, I mean, I think we could all hope and pray that this happens, but I just don't see Ripple. Ripple has a power position now. Before with the lawsuit, I could see something like that. I just don't think Ripple, they have enough money. They have enough partnerships. They have enough everything right now to do anything that they want. They are in the driver's seat, in my personal opinion. Every time I hear IMF, I think Impossible Mission Force. Yeah, bro. Me too, William. The what is it? The last movie's supposed to come out soon, right? This year. If XRP becomes adopted globally, will XLM follow? I'd imagine, Devin. If you look at the charts, they move very similar, which is kind of crazy. They do have different use cases, same technology, different tokenomics. I think they're both going to be big players in the world ahead. XTC to the moon. Love that. Of course, man. I try to get to as many questions as I possibly can. Your question, about HBAR is a tough one, man. And I think that, rushing into something else, like what are you going to rush into, right? If whatever you rush into, if it has higher risk, is it going to go up or will it go down and then you'll miss the HBAR pump? So very, very difficult to say. Very difficult to say, my friend, but maybe talk with somebody that's a financial advisor, somebody that you trust. But I do think you're going to see HBAR starting to take off, as altcoins will start to do soon. XRP Army with the $5. I appreciate you. This is the URL. Ariana, is it possible you can copy that for me and send it to me on Discord? I'd like to pull it up if I can. Is that a YouTube video? V equals 2QD90. Let me see if someone can send that over to me. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm going to the pet store this weekend with Luna, and I think there was like $300 donated in the month of January to the channel. And so we're going to go splurge on Luna for that. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. Google that link. I'm talking about this, Ariana. Can you take the link out of here? I need to Google this, but I can't copy and paste it from where I am. Can you send that to me on Discord and then I can try to Google search it? If you can, I'd really appreciate it. I'll see if Ariana can send it to me on Discord and then I'll try to pull it up. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Oh, you found it for me. Oh, you are incredible. Big shout out to Ariana. Thank you so much for getting that for me, guys. She keeps us safe here, so please give her some love. All right, let's see what we got here. 20-minute video. Okay. Where am I going in this 20-minute video? I cannot watch the whole thing. Army, it's 20 minutes. I can't play the whole video live. So is there a specific area that you want me to identify? Or, I mean, I could watch this in my spare time, but I can't play the whole video right now. Will Fix, he is awesome. This dude looks familiar to me. Watch later. Oh, I got you, brother. Thank you. Here, I'll give it to everybody else too if they're interested in watching it. Here. All credit to LAX. Love you, LAX. Thank you, buddy. Oh, also too, I wanted to mention, guys, I know there's a lot of Cryptonaires members here. So we have been waiting in my community, which is called Cryptonaires, for Pump.Science to launch another coin. I have it on a good authority that is going to happen on February 8th. Okay. I shared the information in, let me pull it up for you. Discord. Doobie doobie doo doobie 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 doobie. All right, let me show you here. If you go into DeSci here, check this out. So I am in close proximity. I'm talking with the CEO or the founder of Pump.Science. And so I guess on the 7th, they are going to do some testing, or they're starting to kick off testing for their previous projects. But then I also asked him about new. So he says new coins launch on February 8th. So I am going to have the founder of Pump.Science on the show next Friday, the day before new coins are supposed to launch, and I will get you as much inside information as I can. Okay. Do you have a link to my Discord? Absolutely, Dixon. I got you. So the Discord is a paid group. You can join for free. Let me just grab it for you 1 second. It's wap.com/Kryptonaires. You can actually, if you want to sign up today, wap.com/Kryptonaires. If you want to sign up today, there's a 5-day free trial, and you can get 50% off the first month by using code BULLRUN. We have several hundred investors, crypto enthusiasts, researchers from all over the world. And actually, there's been some juicy stuff put out by the team recently. Let me just show you some stuff here. So if you actually go into the Discord, did I close it? Where'd it go? I think I closed it. Oh, no, it's right here. It's right here. It's right here. I got it. Let me just show you this really quickly. Rayon and Kalen have been putting out some bangers, man. So look at this. Yacht 5X from entry, took half out, writing the rest. He just posted like a 10X, right? Recently, like yesterday or something. Hold on. Let me see. Was it Kalen or was it Rayon? I don't know, but these guys have been on fire recently. Let me see. Let me see if it's Rayon. We have some really good. Oh, yeah, here you go. LUMO printed 10X in the last 2 days. There's a 10X for you by one of our team members, Lumo 8B Instruct. So, you know, our team is hard at work trying to provide really up-to-date information from all across the crypto space, and we'd love to have you as a part of our community if you guys are interested. What does everyone think about the most profitable single coin to hold? Like, what's the time frame on the hold? Is it like a month? Is it a year? Is it 10 years? I think you need to really understand the time length of what you're trying to ask so we can better attain what the answer is. Do you know anything about BlogDag is on presale? I don't know anything about that. I do apologize. What's up, Trent? Good to see you, man. XRP for me. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, long-term XRP. Arkham coin going parabolic. Sweet, man. Addy, write it. Make that money. I think a lot of us XRP is long-term. Yeah, long-term XRP, man. Marco says, love XRP, love your channel. Just one thing I struggle with. If Ripple Labs owns around 40 billion in escrow and XRP blows up, I don't know, $100, wouldn't that make Ripple the biggest company in the world? Yeah, Marco, it would. Yeah, it would definitely do that. It would give them trillions of dollars. I think it's an inevitability. Listen, nobody has a crystal ball of the future. All you can do is do the research and make educated guesses of where you think this is going to go. Okay. If you take a look at the problem that Ripple and XRP solves, I don't think you can deny that they're going to have a big impact on the way that value moves around the planet. So that is my bet for the future. I've dedicated my life to it. I hope I'm right. I hope we're all right, because I'd love to see each one of you have whatever life that you choose. You like Chainlink? I think Chainlink is the data layer for all this. You know, I think it's extremely important. Chainlink is partnered with the DTCC, DTCC Deposit Trust Clearing Corporation. Damn, I can't speak. That is going to have a big impact on Chainlink's price eventually, for sure. If XRP reached $10 in this bull run, how much do you think it would drop over the next few months after? So, Jonathan, you know, we are going to go into a bear market regardless of what our passions are, what we think is going to happen. We can't really fight, you know, the system. So it's hard to say if XRP will go back down to 50 cents or $1, but it could happen, man. It definitely could happen. I don't think anybody has the answer of what could happen with XRP. I think ETFs and those type of things would help out, stabilize the price, but you're going to get a pump and then you're going to get a dump. So just be prepared. XLM, great technology, is going to be used widely. Franklin Templeton is working with Stellar to tokenize securities. I think they have like $300 or $400 million worth already. That is going to, you know, explode over time. I think it's going to be good. That's why Brad's always smiling. He's going to be the richest company in the world. I mean, they're solving a problem at an enormous scale, right? If you can do that, it is what it is, man. The future of everything is tokenization, right? We talk about that a lot on this channel. You can find the company that's going to tokenize a lot of the world's assets, or the blockchain that a lot of that value will live on. That's all we need, guys. That's all we need. We'll see. Now, this is hard. This is hard. So the reason this is hard is because the DTCC is a financial market infrastructure. Okay. It is a vital heartbeat of stocks, bonds, and derivative sales in the United States and globally. Okay. Extremely, extremely important technology. Now, XDC is based out of Singapore. Okay. Are you going, so what you're connecting here, and I've made the same connections, is R3 and XDC, right? Is that the connections you're making, Army? Because that's where I think this is going, right? R3, XDC, R3's partnership with the DTCC. Let me know if I'm close. I don't have any thoughts on ICP. I don't know enough about it to give you an educated anything, so I won't even try. Long-term holder, 500 per coin in 2030. Hey, utility market is going to be the next market, hopefully. And if that should happen, I mean, see, I did a video about this the other day. How do we reduce the circulating supply of XRP? If you can reduce the circulating supply of XRP and add 10 or 20 trillion dollars on the XRP ledger, you can get to $1,000 token. If you can bring the circulating supply down to like 20 billion tokens, and you add $20 trillion in assets, you're at $1,000 XRP already. So, you know, I think you will start to see these types of things happening over the next few years, in my mind. XRP Army, everyone hit like. I appreciate you, man. We have 1,000 people hanging out. I'd love to be here with you guys. Any thoughts on Caspa? We called Caspa at half a penny long time ago in Cryptonaires. I had Caspa. I took some profits. I never bought back in. I wish I did. I think Caspa is a great technology. I think it's going to do big things in the bull market. I was looking at XCN. We're not going to start this again, Josh. We're not going to do this again, bro. We're not going to do it. Yes, R3 Corda. Yeah, I knew that's what you guys were talking about. So let me show you some stuff. All right. So I think we can all agree that having paying customers is important. Okay. So so let me back up here. XRP Army asked about the DTCC, which is, let me show you what this is. So the DTCC is a depository trust clearing corporation, financial market infrastructure, post-trade services. They clear 2.4 or 2 to 3 quadrillion dollars a year. Okay. Very important piece of the puzzle. Okay. Now, if you look up DTCC plus R3, you're going to get this Project Ion. Okay. The DTCC has been working since 2016. Oh, look, page not found. Oh, did they take it down? Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Let me get back to this. So what they're talking about here is the DTCC since 2016 has been working to upgrade their blockchain to blockchain rails so they can have instant settlement, right? Instant buying and instant selling. Very important. The DTCC was working with R3. And if you go to R3's website, they say that they're working with XinFin. Okay. Now, the reason I am questioning all of this is because of this. What country did XinFin get created in? This is what worries me. Okay. Country of origin for XinFin is Singapore. Okay. XinFin, country of origin, Singapore. Okay. Now, I don't know if the US is going to feel comfortable trusting a blockchain that is not an American-based blockchain, nor is an American-based company, right, to do all of this. Now, I could be totally wrong. I could be looking at this the wrong way, but this is something that concerns me. Also, what concerns me is R3. Okay. R3 has been having financial troubles. Let me show you this. R3 financial troubles. All right, here you go. This has been going on for a long time. R3 blockchain consortium is running out of money. This is back in 2018. Okay. Now there was some new information about this posted. Man, I can't find it on here. Who did this? Hold on. Let me see if I can find it on Twitter. R3 up for sale. It was Anthony Welfare, I think, that put it out. Of course, it pulls up fucking cars. I shouldn't have put up. Is R3 in trouble? It was Anthony Welfare that put out the tweet. I just don't know how to search it to find it. Hold on. Let me see. Man, I did a video on this. That's why I know it's in the back of my head. I just don't know where to find it. Anyways, R3's been having some financial troubles, okay? They don't have enough paying customers right now. And they've been laying off staff, and they've been considering selling the company. Now, if you are the DTCC and your partnership here to process quadrillions of dollars is having financial problems, is that a problem, right? I think there's some things there that haven't been properly, thought about or talked about. And I think we need to have that conversation. Crypto Scooch, love your channel, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, I know R3 quarters connected, guys. Trust me. I know it, man. But 60,000 XRP, is it too much? I mean, if XRP goes to $10, you got 600K. If it goes to $100, you got 6 million. I don't know. Is it too much? Stefan, what's up, Stefan? Good to see you, man. When can you actually see banks moving money into the ledger? So, Damien, so good question. So I think what you're asking here is, when will we see banks start to tokenize their deposits? And when will banks start to tokenize their stocks, bonds, and other things and bring it onto the ledger? Is that the question I think that you're asking? When? I think the answer is pretty easy. Over the last 4 years, every bank that has wanted to get towards, in crypto and get involved, the SEC has told them, if you do, we will come after you. Now that that is gone, regulation, Basel framework, and a few other things are going to be needed before banks feel comfortable doing all this, but it is coming. Robbie, good to see you, brother. Awesome, mate, and yourself. I think you guys are just talking with each other. If XRP, if XLM 10K 10x XRP would sell a market cap, I don't know, blah blah. I'd have to go look, but if you're looking at the market caps, if you think if that's true, then go for it. The most underviewed channel right here. Oh, I appreciate that, Michael. Thank you so much for your kind words, man. We grew crazy. We grew 15,000 subscribers in January, and we did 2 million views in January, which I am eternally grateful to all of you for all your support. It really, thank you. Thank you so much. Do you think XRP and HBAR would make sense in partnering with compliance with each other? Shane, I think there's a lot of really great companies, and I think you're starting to see like David Schwartz and the founder of ADA starting to talk and work together. I think there's a lot of room for all of these blockchains to work with each other and commingle. and build out new technologies, I wouldn't be shocked if you see something like that announced, in the future. But I don't know any specifics around that. So it says Stephanie says, I heard XRP doesn't go for market cap. It goes for with demand. That's true. I mean, that's with anything, right? Market cap is just the, circulating supply and how much value is in that particular token. And you get a price per token with the circulating supply. As demand increases for XRP, as more XRP is taken off the open market, the price of XRP will go with it. It'll go. Here we go. Why is World Liberty Financial holding Ethereum and not XRP? So Stefan, I think you're asking this because you think that World Liberty Financial is Donald Trump's crypto project, which it's not. World Liberty Financial is basically a carbon copy of Aave. Okay. They are paying a lot of money to have Donald Trump as a advisor on World Liberty Financial, but it's not Trump's project. So whatever they do, I think World Liberty Financial is understanding that Ethereum is about to pump with the rest of the altcoin market, and it's a good investment right now. It's not crazy, but I can't say what a random carbon copy of something else is going to do. I think if you go over to CoffeeZilla's channel, he did a great video on this. You know what? Somebody in Cryptonaires LAX sent me something. Oh, I love you, LAX. Thank you, bro. Oh my God. You are a peach, man. Big shout out to LAX, man. Guys, give it to LAX right now. Check this out. He found what I was looking for. Anthony Welfare. Here it is. I told you it was there, man. LAX found it for me, man. So Anthony Welfare works for Ripple. He says, is R3 up for sale? And this is October 24, 2024. So don't say it's fake news. Don't say it's old news. It's right here. Blockchain adoption in traditional finance has been slower than expected. Interesting statement, as there has been a big leap forward in adoption over the last few months, and it's gaining momentum. It says, I wonder if part of the issue is the need for more public blockchain solutions and ever-growing world of stablecoins. Yahoo Finance. Here's the article. Man, thank you. Thank you so much, LAX. So, it didn't pull it up, man. What the fuck? Come on. Oh, why is it doing that? Oh, you know what? I might, because let me turn this off. Let me try to do this a different way. Copy. No. It's interesting that R3 stuff is starting to disappear, right? Like, I don't know. Strange, but LEX, thank you for finding that, bro. Who's your favorite investment channel, dog? We still need regulation. Yeah. So like, guys, I know we all want to be rich tomorrow, but we need to be realistic, right? MMT has a extremely valuable point here. If you take a look at European Union's regulation, MiCA, they passed that. Their Congress, or whatever you call it, Parliament. I don't know exactly the name. I do apologize. I'm not from Europe. And so whatever it's called, they passed regulation for crypto assets back in 2023, mid 2023. And it took until the end of 2024 for that regulation to go into effect. That was a year and a half. So if the US passes regulation, let's say tomorrow, how long is that going to take to go into effect, right? It's not going to be instant. So it's just going to be hard to say, man. Papa, thank you so much for being a member of the channel. I appreciate that. XDC is unlimited tokens as no, XDC is not unlimited. Like Ethereum, Solana, those are unlimited, right? They don't have a cap circulating supply. Or they don't have a cap max supply, not circulating supply. But I do think XDC has a max supply. Oh man, I bring passion to everything I do. Crypto is, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else in the world. as Ripple Singapore is the thing. Listen, I think we're gonna have to see how R3 does, man. Nate says, your take on banks custodying my crypto, would there be a reward? How much potential reward, flexibility, and cashing out? So right now, as it's set up, banks, it would cost banks more money to custody your crypto than they would make custodying your crypto, if that makes sense. The insurance, how much money they would need to back up the crypto, you know, it's all not really looking very well right now. But that is going to change in the future. What they need to do is they need to figure out which crypto fits into which bucket, and Basel III frameworks for banks do that. And so as crypto becomes more mainstream, yes, you will see your banks offering you crypto and crypto custody. When will that happen? There's already a bank in Europe, I think, that just started to do that actually, but widespread, I think it'll take some time. I popped in your channel about a week ago. Hulk smashed that like button. Yeah. Appreciate it, Tron. Thank you so much, man. What market cap implication do you see for SBI having? I mean, isn't like SBI's XRP holdings worth more than SBI itself, right? Which is funny. I think SBI is a big player in the banking world, especially in Japan and other Asia countries. And I think that other banks will look to them for guidance and technology of what to do and what to use. Serious question from Crypto Roger says, serious XRP question. Bitcoin and Ethereum's liquidity is in the billions. XRP is around 480 million. Doesn't that mean XRP has only 480 million that can be cashed out? If that's the accurate numbers, I'd have to go dig it up and look. But if that's accurate, that's probably accurate. I don't know if is that the total liquidity for XRP? Let me look. Oh, is it going to have it on here? No. Let me see if I can find it a different way. Hold on. I don't know. I'll have to research that, man. Really good question, but I'd have to research it. I don't know. But thank you for the question. Appreciate that, Jamal. Jamel. Appreciate you, man. Love you. I'm trying to get down to these questions. Yahoo Finance can't be good. Citing the interview of the Bitcoin Maxi. I think Yahoo Finance doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. I think like they used to be the place, right, where people got their news and their emails and all that stuff. And I think, you know, they've had to sell off parts of their business year over year. And it just doesn't seem like they have smart enough people working. Like the person that interviewed the Bitcoin Maxi didn't even know how to say XRP. She said RXP. So she doesn't know jack about what she's talking about. I think that's a problem with a lot of these places. Have you looked into PinLink for World Assets Play? I haven't looked into PinLink. I think I've heard the name before, but I haven't looked into it. Is Japan going to use XRP next? It does seem like SBI is getting ready to use XRP for remittances. So possibly. How do you think, how long do you think HBAR will be at 30 cents? We just went over some of this information on HBAR. If you back up the chat right before I started answering questions, there's a segment on HBAR that goes into price and all this stuff from actual HBAR experts. I am not that, so you'll need to go to that and listen to that. I can't really tell you what HBAR is going to do. It does look like from their research and their TA that HBAR is getting ready to make a big move. Let's see. I read England will be swapping over to the Brit in spring. Would it be fair to assume that XRP might be implemented around the same time? Kate, England will be swapping over to the Brit. MMT, what is the Brit? Sorry, I don't know what that is. Is that a payment system? I do know that Ripple, the company, has been working closely with the Bank of England for quite a long time. I don't know specifics about England's infrastructure, but MMT, he might know. Larson and Schwartz are both said that XRP is capable of 10K. I think it's an inevitability, in my opinion. I could be wrong, though. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial expert. I'm a guy sitting next to a seal. Like, you know, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Oh, I appreciate you. Crypto Senpai. That's my new nickname, man. Crypto Senpai. Like it. Basel 3 compliance. Yep. Basel 4 compliance. Time to sell XRP. I got in at 185. Should I take profits? Nick, you got to go talk to a financial advisor, man, because I am not that. If you think the market is over, maybe you need to do what you need to do. But I personally think the market is not over yet. So, Meet, I'll see you later, man. Crypto Sensei, any opinion on Christine Lagarde, Bitcoin? I mean, there's no opinion. That's just what it is. She said that no country in the European General Council will be taking part in Bitcoin as a strategic reserve. We did talk about this earlier on in the chat. I mean, they don't want to touch it. They think it's radioactive, and I don't blame them. XRP has way more utility than Bitcoin, no matter how many Bitcoin maxis. You mean Britcoin, digital pound? Oh, is that built on Ripple's technology, or is that built on like Quant? Does Quant build stablecoin technology? Or I know Quant has the technology around CBDCs, but I don't know if it's going to be Quant or Ripple or something else. Not going to happen this year. All right, good to know, man. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Nixie. Appreciate you. Thank you for the support. Yes, XRP staking is being worked on. I think it's like XLS, is it 65 and XLS 66 or something? Native staking is coming. Also, staking through Flare is coming. They're working on that right now. Let me see if I have Perplexity still up here. Yeah, let me go here to this. This will tell me exactly what I want to know. What is staking coming to the XRPL? This will bring up what I want to know. I spent an awful lot of time on Perplexity. Where is it at? That's not what I wanted to know. Shoot, how did I ask this question before? To remove, all right, hold on. How do we get XRP? Man, I can't remember how I searched this before. How do we reduce XRP's circulating supply? And what is staking? You got to ask this a certain way for it to kick it up the information. Nope, still didn't do it. But it is coming. They are working on it. I think it has to be approved and finished up. But I did a video on this recently. I can't remember which video, though. So many videos, man. You are an information guru? I tried it, man. I try. MSM shills for Bitcoin. Yeah, it's kind of sad, man. How do I get started with some XRP? Sergio, all good, man. Well, welcome to the, welcome, right? This is where it's all happening. So you want to get situated with an exchange or where you can buy XRP, okay? Obviously, you're going to probably need a wallet, and you don't need to buy like a Ledger or expensive wallet. You can use Zamin, which let me show you what that is so you don't check the wrong thing. So Zamin is one of the best XRP mobile phone wallets that you can buy. I think this is like, I think they charge you now like $2 a month, or I can't remember how much it is. I do apologize. It was free. Now I think they charge you to do a bunch of stuff. I do think you can get an XRP and fund an account. But if you start to like buy meme coins or do other things, I think they will charge you a few bucks. But this is what I use on my phone when I'm buying different things on the XRP ledger. So get set up on an exchange, buy the XRP, move the XRP to a safe wallet, and hang on for a good ride. I don't know if you can farm. I don't know this question, Papa. I do apologize. All right, guys. Listen, we've been going for 2 hours and 3 minutes. I'm exhausted. So listen, we'll be back on Monday at 12:30 Hawaii time, 2:30 PST, 5:30 Eastern. I got an interview with a really cool project that is actually having a pre-sale that Cryptonaires members, if they want access to it, all I need is your MetaMask. Go check the announcements in the Cryptonaires Discord. You can, fill out the form, send in your MetaMask wallet, and you can get on it. But I'm going to interview the team on Monday. Looks really cool. It's promising. If you like AI agents and gaming, you're going to love this. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your time. Just want to give a big shout out to Ariana and the chat. LAX, thank you so much. And I appreciate each and every one of you for your time, your love, and your support. I wish you all a truly fantastic weekend. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your life. Trust me, the impact, I feel it every day. And I'm thankful for you. So I'll see you next time. Aloha.